cars parked on both sides of the road, and then you've still got vehicles, you know, both northbound and southbound, trying to get through there. It does cause a lot of congestion. I know when I first started here, that whole area was a school zone. And then I think Avon had it removed. So, you know, during rush hour morning, rush hour afternoons, it was a 20-mile-an-hour zone. But now it's 30 miles an hour. And I think the request was to move it back down to 20 miles an hour there.
The thought is, being someone that has a home on Yale and a business on Yale, yeah, I would say that, and I've talked to a lot of people, they cut through there from, and their statement that has been made to me on numerous occasions is that they come down Yale to avoid the school zone and Roberts Cutoff. The Roberts Cutoff is more adapted to handle the extra people. And I know that before I got here, there was people that were trying to get speed bumps in. We had added stop signs trying to prevent it. And I realize it's not a speeding issue, it's a congestion issue that I think could be helped. I think it sounds like a good idea.
I actually live on Yale myself, and I've been there 20-plus years, and I've never liked living where I live. I live on a corner lot, and speed is an issue. It really is. And when I first moved here, I was one of the ones that wanted to do a speed bump because I never allowed my kids to play in the front yard because I was always, my mailbox has actually been hit 5 times. And I have that mailbox is not cheap. It's made out of brick, and it's been hit 5 times. And I was told that the speed bumps would not be recommended because it is a main vessel in and out of River Oaks because they do take that road to avoid the school zone. So I've noticed, and I've actually asked police officers to stand there and watch them because they literally pass each other up because they don't want to do what it is now, the 30, they don't. And so they literally, and I'm not sure from what street to what street, there's no stop signs, because there is stop signs, but then there's a stretch where there's no stop signs, and that's kind of like where I live.
That's what I had recommended before was these streets, and Herman said, well, we don't want to discourage traffic. Well, I thought that's what we were trying to do in a way.
Yeah.
But I could see now, even just adding those stop signs isn't going to totally address.
It's an issue.
I would like to have them.
Yeah. So I do. What that street that you're talking about too, I mean, I've almost been hit there. I don't know how many times because I go up and down.
Four-way stop right there.
Yes, and it does get congested going down because people are parking, and then and you just it's a problem. It is. So speed is an issue there too. It's just I don't know what we can do, but we need to do something.
I don't know if it wouldn't be better if it was 20 off of the minute you got off Roberts Cutoff. Either Yale or Castleberry Cutoff. Cause a friend of mine used to live right there where Castleberry Cutoff is, and he got hit several times sitting there in his car waiting to go to school.
Oh, wow.
So I think if we're going to do the 20, we do it the full length.
And I was mentioning to the chief that when it comes time to put the signs in, it's probably better to put it more towards Castleberry Cutoff or Sampson Circle, because you got as many people coming from Sampson Circle onto Yale as you do Yale. So if you put and I like this idea here. I've seen Lake Worth has these, the LED limit signs. They've gone in there with a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit and put the digital flashing
because it's new, and that way they know that this changed. And
it's amazing how it gets your attention. And then theirs have
well, we did a study back when I was there, I think it was around the 1100 block, that lady that was, our neighbors came to the council meetings numerous times complaining about the speed. We went up there with officers, we put the handheld radar in her hand. There wasn't a speed issue in that area. It's a congested area. People were complaining that they couldn't get out of the driveway found that it was a speed issue. That study, what we did find, definitely a congested area, problem. As far as street cars, if you notice, Fort Worth is going around taking those things up now, they spend a lot of money pulling down, and they haven't been effective, and they're taking them up on a lot of streets already. People that wanted them now are complaining they wanted them taken up.
So my thought is, if you go to 20-mile-an-hour zone, some of those people.
It was changed from 20 up to 30, because it's like, whatever that reason is, if we don't do anything else different, it's gonna just come back.
I don't know, that was, one of the previous administrations. I'm not sure why it was changed. I do remember him asking to remove the school zone, but I don't know why.
I'm sure it's because of.
I think that was because they had a crossing there at Meandering, and there wasn't, they did a study, and there wasn't any kids at that time crossing Meandering at Yale.
I wish Mark was still here.
Another question is, that's the attorney. We were told one time that our Lawrence State legislators had passed a law that prevented us from changing the speed limits down to 20 without certain conditions. Is that still an expert?
I'm not aware of them. And if I told you that a couple of years ago, I'm sorry, I forgot.
I do know that two of our.
You know, the section between Roberts Cutoff and the Boulevard and, the end part, to the south, the triangle, 20 miles per hour, and then somebody asked for something else in 20 later, and that's what we were told to do that.
There's special, you know, there are special studies that need to be made. Even if you want to change this, I can get it into my next meeting. That said, someone would have to complain, and if they complain, the only thing to do would be to change it back.
All I can say is we have two neighboring cities that have both done this in residential neighborhoods that are not school zones. Lake Worth and West Worth Village has done the same thing. I don't know how they did it.
Our cities are doing it, and I think there would have to be a complaint, that it wasn't corrected.
Okay, that's fine.
Just need to discourage the use of that street as a thoroughfare when we got Roberts Cutoff.
Right.
Just, as an additional note, the chief did have an officer sit there from 6:30 to 8:30 on a Thursday, 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. to do it. Kind of a traffic study. 209 vehicles passed through the Yale Notre Dame intersection. He wrote 4 stop sign citations. And then the evening, that same day in the evening from 4 to 6, we had an officer sit there. 343 vehicles passed through that intersection, and he wrote 8 stop signs.
And I would share with you that the east gate is currently closed, so that traffic's not even there right now.
And the reason for being a cut through is to put a barrier in the middle of it, so they can't cut through it.
Well, there's been several people talking about closing it off at Baylor, and that's what I'm saying. This seems like this would be a better, solution than that. I've had somebody else, the lady that lives, there at Notre Dame and Yale, when I was running for office, she wanted me to do one thing, and I told her I couldn't, because I didn't agree with it. She wanted to make one whole side of the street no parking. Then you got people battling over which side, then you got neighbors across the street parking in front of your house.
I think we need to look into the 20 and look into adding the stop signs on the cross streets that we don't have. And maybe that would discourage, that's what we're doing, we're discouraging the use of it.